Good morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna. And this morning, airbrush, airbrushed. How many of you have looked at something on social media, maybe not even social media, maybe you got it in a marketing flyer sent to your house, what do they call that? The mail that you get, the mass mailing or what have you, or maybe an email, and you looked at the picture and you said, that doesn't look right. Or maybe you did a photo shoot. Maybe you did a photo shoot, and after the photographer airbrushed it, you look so much better. How about that? Well, that's what we're talking about on this morning, airbrush, and we're picking up on what we've been dealing with on this whole series that I kicked off on yesterday, and that is real ID. What's your real ID? Do you know your real ID? Do you have your real ID? Well, that's what we're talking about right now. And I just wanted to kind of pick up on that and move it a little further with the whole sense of airbrushed. Airbrush. How many of you know what I'm talking about when we're talking about being airbrushed? Well, let's greet some folk this morning and then get right into the man on this morning. Ramona, how are you on this morning? First in line. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you, Minister Branch? How are you on this morning? Arlene, how are you doing on this morning? What a game last night. My military buddy here is from Buffalo. I actually, do you all? I actually fell asleep on. I woke up and we were in the lead, and then when I woke up, the Ravens, one of my teams I really like. I said, oh my God, what in the world happened? But things happen. What can you say? Good morning, Lenore. How are you on this morning? Gan, how are you on this morning? Levon, how are you? Fawn, how are you on this morning? If it's your first, second, or third time joining us on this morning, please let us know who you are, where you are, and so we can shout you out. This is the Morning Manna fam. We get together this way every weekday morning this time. Good morning, Gerald. How are you? Brenda is in the house. Good to see you on yesterday. Amen. Vicky, how are you on that? Laura, how are you? Saw you. That's right. You all was together yesterday. Good to see you all. Elder Jan, how are you? Look, you know what? Welcome to the Manna fam. This is what we do all the time. And for those of you who say, I'm just kind of checking it out, hang in there. We got a word for you to hang in there. I got to greet some people first. You got to be kind and courteous and polite. I mean, not trying to be rude. We got to greet folk. And that right. Good morning, Dolores. How are you? Samara, how are you on this morning? Vaughn, how are you on this morning? Vaughn, I was doing my best yesterday. Thank you for the encouragement. Joya, how are you on this morning? Jacqueline, how are you? Dawn, how are you? Pastor Richard, you're in the house. I'm doing it. You already know I've asked a question concerning that support. Give me a little time. Give me a little time. I haven't forgotten you. Good morning, Verena. How are you? You all ministered in the word. Good morning, Ella. How are you? Patrice, how are you? Dan the man, how are you on this morning? Cynthia, how are you on this morning? Denise, how are you? Deborah, how are you on this morning? You already know I am Amago Day. Hey, my pastor all the way in Africa got that word. You already know. We're going to teach this word this month. You already know. Ari, how are you? Felicia, how are you? Brother Nesbitt, you are miss. You are miss. How are you on this morning? Patrice, how are you? I know you are like, I don't know what in the world traveling here. Good morning, Anna. How are you on this morning? Got a word for you on this morning. And this morning, you know what? It's all about airbrush. But let's get into the manner.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day.
Acts 17:28. Acts 17:28. The familiar tape is the King James Version. For in him we live and move and have our being. As certain also of you own prophets and poets have said, we also are his offspring. Here's the context of the text. A culture that is obsessed with filters everywhere you look. You can't even come on social media without a filter. Airbrushing, manufactured images. Paul reminds us that our real identity isn't something we create, it's something we already carry, and it is who we are. Now, in the time of this text, the Greeks prided themselves on philosophy, artistry, and self made identity. So when Paul enters this whole area, he declares the truest essence of who we are is not found in the edit, the deleted, or the design, but in the creation of who God is through us, the very image he stamped on us and breathed the movement into our lives. Therefore, grab this. Your real ID doesn't need an airbrush. It does not need Photoshop. It doesn't require digital enhancement. When you live in Him, you're already marked by the Creator's signature. And while culture tries to market you as a brand, and if you're not careful, you'll walk around talking about my brand, heaven already stamped you as a child of God. Here's the three things I want you to get this morning. The first is this: identity is divine, not design. Identity is divine, not design. I'll say it again. Identity is divine, not design. Put it in the chat area. The world says, edit yourself. But God says, I made you already. You need no edits. Two, movement is purpose driven. That's what he said. I live, move, and have. It's purpose driven. Therefore, every step we take should flow from Him, not from trying to impress somebody else. Three, live, move, and have your very being. Being is belonging. And you don't have to chase affirmation. You already belong to the Father. Like, can I say it again? You don't have to chase affirmation. You already belong to the Father. What's your takeaway this morning? Here's your takeaway. Don't settle for an airbrush life. Know that you're already the Imago Dei. You are Him in the image of God. The Lord be with you today. May His face shine upon you and give you peace. If this bless you, don't keep it to yourself. Share the manna. And I will see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna. God bless you.